Hi everybody. Well, here I am, my second attempt at a live. I guess I'm officially um, doing it now. So here we are. The reason I wanted to talk to you tonight is I was thinking today about Andy Andrews. He's a speaker I went to go see. And see, Andy studied people, and he's a professional noticer. And so he read hundreds and hundreds of biographies. And through these biographies, he started seeing a common thread among all of them and realized that there were seven things all of these famous people had in common. And so Andy Andrews put together the seven decisions that will change our lives. And they're very, very simple to do, but they're very so important. And these decisions are truths, they're principles, which means they can be carried over to so many different situations at any time. They happen, they're true, whether we realize it or not. So without further ado, let's just jump into these seven decisions and see what they're all about. Decision number one, take responsibility. Own where you're at. Wherever you're at in your life, some people are at the very high pinnacle of their life. Some people are really struggling right now. But it was our own decisions, our own choices that put us wherever we are in our life right now. So own that. A lot of people will say, well, it's my kid's fault, it's my spouse's fault, it's the boss, it's the government, it's the economy, it's my car, it's this, it's that, it's whatever. Hard stuff happens to everybody. Own where you're at, because the beauty of this is if you take responsibility for it, you claim ownership. And if you claim ownership, you control it. That's all there is to it. Decision number two, seek wisdom. I'm not saying go read a book every night, although that's not a terrible idea. You don't have to go listen to self-help gurus and, people like this, motivational speakers. I'm saying be a sponge. Soak in all the information around you. Think about your peer group. If you are at the very top of your peers, you're probably not in the right group. Surround yourself with people who are amazing at what they do. The great people will pull you up. People below you will pull you down. There's a natural evening that happens. If you watch a football game, if you take a super great football team playing a really crappy football team, what happens? The crappy football team suddenly is playing good ball. The great football team suddenly can't do anything. There's that natural evening. So if you want to play better tennis, play a great tennis player. Also, one of the things Andy and I have in common is that we each have a personal board of trustees. Now the caveat to that is that they don't know that they are my board of trustees. These are people I surround myself with who are great at something. They excel somewhere. And so I'm watching them, I'm modeling them, I'm doing what they do. I'm taking all of their knowledge and wisdom and soaking that all in. There's a reason they're doing what they're doing, and it's because it works. And if it works for them, it just might work for me. Decision number three is the most important decision there is. And so, like Andy, when he delivers these, I'm going to save that one for the end, and you'll see why. Number four, have a decided heart. This is the one that kills people more than anything. The most successful people will decide quickly and change their mind slowly. Some people will start to overanalyze things. You think about it too much. You talk to too many people before you make a decision. When you do make a decision, then you start thinking about it some more and you jump out of the decision. Well, then you start talking to somebody else and suddenly you're back in the decision. That doesn't work for anybody ever. So go in with a decided heart. Eric Worre, a great business mind, says that you should say yes and figure it out later, which makes perfect sense. Make a quick decision and then figure it out. And we'll get to how to figure it out here later on. Number five, choose to be happy. Now this is kind of a hard one because through life a lot of bad stuff happens. I mean, it just happens to everybody. We all struggle with different things. And so it's hard to put on a fake smile, to force your insides to be happy all the time. So here's what I want you to do. Find something to be grateful for. And everybody can do that because gratefulness will lead you to happy. So in the morning, find one thing. For some of us, it's going to be hard to find one thing, but you can. For some of us, we can come up with dozens of things. So maybe you choose to be grateful that your kids are healthy, that you're healthy, that you even woke up in the morning, that the sun is shining, it's a beautiful day, that your car starts. For good Lord, just be grateful that your socks match. I don't care what it is. Find something to be grateful for, and that's going to lead you to happiness. It will every time. Number 6, greet each day with a forgiving spirit. Now this one's really, really powerful because forgiveness is so amazing. But the great thing about forgiveness is that people don't have to ask to be forgiven. And they don't even have to know that they've been forgiven. See, forgiveness is on us. It's about letting that baggage go. It's about the past. Let it go. You don't have to carry that burden anymore. Trust is different. Now, if somebody steals for you, can you forgive them? Sure you can. Are you going to continue to do business with them? Probably not. Are you going to trust them? Probably not. But that's on them. The trust issue is all about them. The forgiveness is us. Release that baggage and move on. Number 7, persist without exception. We always hear, keep going, you can do it, persist, don't give up. The trick here is without exception, because we always hit that brick wall. If you persist without exception, the impossible will become possible. There's a way around that because you haven't given up on it. Tony Robbins always says that if you're going to take the island, burn the boats, which is very true. You row out to an island in hopes to conquer it. When you get there, burn your boats. Then you have no choice but to conquer the island. If you're going to leave the island, you're going to leave it on their boats. Then you've conquered the island. Get rid of Plan B. Plan B sucks. If Plan B was that great, it would be Plan A. So just don't have a Plan B. Burn your boats and conquer the island. John Maxwell says that everything worthwhile is uphill. You will struggle the entire way. Everything that is worthwhile will be uphill. Now we're going to stumble, we're going to fall. Failures happen. We all fail. The world is full of failures. Make sure that you're falling forward though. Learn from your mistakes. If you fall forward, get yourself back up, continue to walk until you fall again. Then fall forward. You can literally fall to your goal as long as you're falling forward. When you do hit that brick wall, it's not that we've run out of options. We haven't run out of things to try. We've simply run out of ideas. The only thing that's going to get you past that boundary is just a single idea. That's all it is. And when you've hit that boundary, when you've tried everything that you can possibly try and there's nothing left in the world for you to do, you've hit that stopping point, I want you to say this to yourself. And this comes from Andy also. I want you to say, I know you don't know what to do, but if you did, I know you don't know, but if you did know, what would you do next? And then you can start thinking of different things you haven't tried, things that you haven't tried because you were sure they wouldn't work. Well, if you haven't tried them, you don't know. And maybe it's another failure, but fall forward and keep going. All right, so the last one, which is number 3, is the decision of action. Take action. To get up and actually move, to actually do something. If we stay still, nothing's going to happen. And we know that to get the biggest results, we must take massive intentional action. That comes from the first video. See how all these are tying together? Massive intentional action to get up and do something. All right, so that was Andy Andrews' 7 decisions, the 7 principles. It takes Andy about an hour and a half to go through those. So you got just the very, very highlights of them, but they're so powerful. Practice these every day. They're very, very simple, and they're going to take you to places that you've never imagined before. So I hope you have an awesome night. Have an awesome rest of the week, and I will see you guys very soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.